Hi, good afternoon. My name is Krista Mistowski, and I am the Director of Public Relations for Community Hospice. I'd like to welcome you all to our Community Connections, Your Bridge to Resources seminar today on loneliness, advice, tips, and support for seniors and caregivers. Throughout this presentation, if you have any questions, I encourage you to please enter them into the chat box. We will make sure to address all questions that are entered into the chat box. You can also raise your hand if you have any questions, and I will reach out to you as well. Our presenters today are Erica White. She is a social worker for Community Hospice, as well as Kylie White, and she is with the Aging Association for Stanislaus County, the Healthy Aging Association. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Erica and Kylie, and thank you guys both for being here today and providing these great resources.
Hi, thank you for tuning in to another Community Connections presentation. So as we close in on 1 year of staying at home, it has become apparent that a different detriment to our health needs some of our attention: loneliness. Loneliness comes in different forms and sizes and shapes for all of us. It can be temporary. Loneliness is defined by researchers as feeling lonely for more than once a week. It can happen occasionally. Loneliness causes people to feel empty, alone, and unwanted. People who are lonely often crave human contact, but their state of mind makes it more difficult to form connections with other people. Loneliness can affect all types of people across socioeconomic status, gender, race. It doesn't discriminate. There's different types of loneliness. Transient loneliness, those temporary in nature, occasional feelings of loneliness, usually can be changed with a little change of scenery or a distraction, a phone call to a friend. Situational loneliness following a major life event. This would look like divorce, loss of a spouse, as we gain a new tribe and figure out our new normal in our next chapter. But the one that causes more concern is chronic loneliness, an ongoing, enduring experience. Those are the ones that feel lonely, feel down, even in a room full of people, even in a room full of their friends. So it's a little more deep-rooted, and hopefully we can come up with some solutions today. So chronic loneliness occurs when feelings of loneliness and uncomfortable social isolation feelings go on for a long period of time. It can be characterized by constant feelings of being alone, separated from others, and inability to connect on a deeper level. So those are those just superficial feelings that we're not actually close to anybody. We don't have that best friend. We're not really sharing our deeper thoughts. We're just kind of floating through life. And that connection is important. Human connection is very important. It can also be accompanied by deeply rooted feelings of inadequacy, poor self-esteem, and self-loathing. So that's very challenging, and it's difficult to get out of once you get to that point. It can feel very similar to chronic depression, which without help is very difficult to get out of independently. What are the main signs and symptoms of chronic loneliness? Signs and symptoms can differ depending on your situation. If you consistently feel some or all of the following, you may be dealing with chronic loneliness. Like I had said before, not being able to connect with others on a deeper, more intimate level. And this can be caused by a history of trauma. We can become incredibly guarded. We can put a lot of walls up. We can be hesitant to share or to trust. And so we push a lot of people away. So there's that surface level engagement. We're playing a role. Maybe we might be really good at our jobs because that's kind of like an acting role. It takes a lot of vulnerability to characterize that closeness. There's no closer best friends. So we're not giving or receiving that reciprocity of closeness with other humans. So feelings of isolation, regardless of where you are and who's around, feeling of being alienated and alone, and negative feelings of self-doubt and self-worth. So all of this can really chip away at our self-esteem and our value. Um, and so then that makes us hesitate to connect or call or initiate those conversations. So some of my suggestions today aren't necessarily with people, because that might take some baby steps as you tap into who you are and what's valuable to you and what's important to you. So I had come across a study by Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine that summarizes these observations that loneliness and social isolation negatively affect our health and quality of life. As you see here, loneliness can contribute to a lot. And a lot of these, it becomes cyclical as to why we don't reach out, why we don't exercise, and all those oversimplified solutions that you might hear. Go jog, go, reach out and call a friend. Well, if you've recently gained a lot of weight and you're not feeling like yourself and you're depressed, or you become paranoid because you get used to staying at home quite a bit and isolating, and you get comfortable that way. And then you might become paranoid, or it just feels awkward to be out in the world. Heart disease, high blood pressure. These are some of the things that when we're starting to not take care of our mental wellness, this is what is affected. So sleep issues, and that's just very hard to cope with the next day when we're not sleeping. So mental health and emotional problems can also be a result. Personality disorders, adjustment disorders. So all of these have different solutions. If it becomes bigger, we obviously want you to contact your psychiatrist, your psychologist, or your primary care provider. But if these are short-term, easily solved by a little lifestyle change, then we have some suggestions. But definitely, if it gets out of hand, see the medical provider that you need to. So although we recognize the value of physical distancing to protect our health, today we are going to explore ways to enhance connectedness, to increase mental wellness. The awesome thing about a quarantine that's lasted about a year is that the world has adapted. They've evolved, they've learned how to go virtual. And so these volunteer positions and everything that I discussed usually have adapted to keep you safe and keep you well. So they have accommodated our new normal, if you will. So just generally staying connected, engage with other people in a positive, healthy way. Even though it may be difficult, try making the effort to connect with others, as it can boost self-esteem, our confidence, our success. Seeing our little successes can lead to greater successes, but it also provides a safe and satisfying way to connect with others. So there are support groups that are still in place, usually using Zoom, these kind of webinars, seeing a live person. But I know the Alzheimer's Association, our community connections, and varying support group, Grief Share, I know I see come across. So various companion programs via Agency on Aging. Kylie, if you want to speak on that. We still have Project Hope, Friendly Visitor. Do we have those programs in place? Unmute yourself. Kylie, are you out there?
Oh, there you go. I was muted. Okay, perfect. Yes, we still have all of those through the Area Agency on Aging, specifically Healthy Aging Association. That's our organization. We do offer that Tai Chi on Zoom. We also have a Young at Heart class now on Zoom. So if you're interested in any of those programs, you can reach out. I can put our website in the chat box and also our phone number. We have volunteer opportunities where we have implemented those COVID-19 protocols to try to keep all of our volunteers safe. So we also have that available for everyone. And it's just good to, even though you may be over the computer, it is a live Tai Chi class and a Young at Heart class. So you do have that live instructor, you do see everyone else on your screen, and you're able to, we give about 5 minutes before class and after class to really let the participants talk amongst each other. So that is a great way to get some interaction.
Yeah, it's great to see your peer group. They're out there, even though they're not next to you, you are part of a broader community.
And I will go ahead and add our website along with our phone number in case you're interested or want a little bit more detail on any of those programs that we offer virtually.
Excellent. Thank you, Kylie. So these can be things that you do in your household with your household pod or virtually, as Kylie had mentioned. The world is adapting to accommodate our safety and the physical distancing. But get out, be seen, even on a computer screen. So a couple other suggestions that I had is using Zoom, using Facebook Live for family celebrations, for gender announcements, for birthday parties. Have your family use those Facebook Messenger, video chat technologies working with us. So those are very helpful to see our family and our peers. Also, a big thing that's opened up is drive-in movies are coming back. So Oakdale, the rodeo grounds just opened up. They're about to do theirs, I believe, this weekend. Stanislaus County Fairgrounds are they're allowing drive-in movies. So you can have your little pod in your car, couple friends right beside you, and still share that experience of going to the movies. And the series drive-in, the old series drive-in, still working. Old movies, new movies. So that might be fun. We also have the State Theater. They're allowing rentals of old movies. So, access our local businesses that we're trying to keep open and support. Right here, I have the Crab Grab fundraisers. They're doing a lot of drive-through. So we have Center for Human Services, Ceres Rotary Club, and a couple that I think have already passed. But look out for those fundraisers and do a little crab feed in your household and share that maybe out of the ordinary experience. Farmers markets are open. Use your mask, your physical distancing, and look into the senior vouchers, the food programs. I don't know, Kylie, are you aware of those? Are we still doing the food vouchers for seniors?
I know we did last year. We did not receive them this year.
Okay.
We were able to hand them out to our participants, but we didn't receive those this year.
Good to know. But they also accept your EBT card. Okay, so if we're on CalFresh, they also accept those. The Visit Modesto, our visitors bureau, are promoting the Almond Blossom Cruise. So in your February issue of Modesto View, there's a pull-out map. You can go as far as LaGrange to Knights Ferry, but you can also stay local. You can download a map from Visit Modesto, and there's a lot of points of interest. Going out to Wood Colony, we have exceptionally old trees, a lot of history, but apparently our almond blossoms are very, unique. And a lot of people go to the East Coast to see that fall foliage, but here we have almond blossoms, and I think we've kind of taken it for granted. But our tourism industry has noticed that this is very specific to our area, and they're beautiful trees. And you can follow that map and see some points of interest and what people are enjoying on the West Coast here in the Central Valley. Another thing, and I'm not quite up to date, but the Modesto Senior Center, they were handing out walking maps, and together, possibly still, they do a walk around their senior center in that Bodum area, kind of downtown, and look at the cemetery. So I'm not sure if I just recently got a map, and so hopefully they're still doing that. Are you in connection with
We actually we have a few different walking maps for Ceres, Modesto, and Patterson, which the Healthy Aging Association has come up with these walking routes. So we do leave them at the senior center for them to get distributed. I know right now none of our formal walking groups are in session, but we are still encouraging participants to get out and walk those different routes. And also, just starting this last Monday, we kicked off our spring 2021 steps walking challenge.
That's what I have here.
Yeah, so it's a 12-week walking challenge where the participants weekly, every Monday, will receive motivational emails. And every 4 weeks, they check in all their miles that they have walked. We are now doing a raffle. Every 4 weeks, if you report your miles, we'll put your name into a raffle and you'll win a raffle prize. So it's a good way to just get moving, stay accountable, and get motivation from, even though it's through email. And also we can do phone calls checking in with the participants. And that just kicked off and it's not too late to join. So if you're interested in that steps walking challenge, just go ahead and give our office a call and we can get you added to that challenge.
How exciting. You got your own cheerleaders out there.
Yes.
Very cool. Good stuff. Also, I've noticed, I look at the Modesto View community calendar quite a bit, and our VFW hall are starting to do the fish fry and their morning breakfast. They do have a huge multi-purpose room, so maybe they're just limiting the amount of people they're letting in, but for those veterans out there, it looks like they're doing those Sunday breakfast and Friday night dinners and something called a fish fry coming up. So check in with VFW Hall over at 3500 Coffee Road, or look at your Modesto View calendar. So another category of ideas I had is personal enrichment. These may be enjoyed independently, but will also enrich any phone calls that you may have, any Zoom calls with your grandkids, your friends. Maybe steer away from negative conversations you don't want to have, latest updates on COVID that you already read about, any political discussions you want to avoid. Enrich yourself, empower yourself. These Zoom meetups and various ways to kind of broaden our horizons. They're going on. So the Gallo Center is doing a lot of Zoom, YouTube videos. The Opera Festival, that one is ticketed. It's a certain day. I'm sorry, I don't have that in front of me. But in general, they have their own YouTube channel, and operamodesto.org has some presentations. Like I said earlier, the State Theater, they're allowing rentals of movies, and Friday nights you can go and pick up their popcorn and bring them to your household and watch the movies that you rented from the State Theater. So really try to replicate that normal 2019 that we used to have. So those might be pretty fun with your spouse or your friends. Modesto Area Partners in Science, they're doing a lot of presentations. I think the most recent one was some gardening with worms. So they have experts come and present on a lot of different topics, the pandemic, living with COVID, things like that, but in a scientific background. Our Stanislaus County Library, they have a lot of videos. That Modesto Area Partners in Science, that's going to be the www.mjc.edu. But Stanislaus County Library, they have virtual book clubs. So if you guys are big readers, you can gather with some new friends and discuss what you're reading, what you enjoyed, what caused some questions. They have gardening talks, they have classes, and they also have trivia nights. So that might be pretty fun. Central Valley Art Association and the Mislin Gallery, they are doing Facebook and YouTube talks, as well as online exhibits. I have ccaagallery.org. So a lot of people are getting their own YouTube channels. I think they're doing an outdoor exhibit as well. You want to look at their website. But like I said, adapt and overcome and accommodate what we're dealing with. So that might be a nice change of scenery there and enrich our conversations. Anything to add with that, Kylie?
Nope, that all sounds amazing.
Okay, okay. Finally, I have volunteering. That also is adapting. So I'm seeing a lot of inquiries to volunteer with our service clubs. If you know a friend, a lot of these, you need someone to bring you in, but do a little research. Sometimes on their website, they list their board of directors, and you might be surprised to know somebody. So our Lions clubs, Rotary clubs, Elks Lodge, the Moose Lodge, and our Garden Club, they either are accepting volunteers or participants. But these are a great group of people, and they do wonderful services around the community. I know Moose Lodge works with the Parent Resource Center. Garden Club is still beautifying downtown. Graffiti USA Museum, if that's something that you guys haven't heard about, on North 9th Street in Modesto, they're really attached to our history of cruising during that graffiti era, and they're creating essentially a museum, and they're asking for a lot of different volunteers. It could be those of us that want to stay home and do mailers, or tell your friends about it, share on your Facebook page, get some donations. But they also would really appreciate those of you with a contractor's background, construction. There was a list of needs on Modesto View, but I'm sure they have a website or a Facebook page, but they have lots of needs. And if you want to donate a car, if you want to donate a part of your history, maybe, there's some pink ladies out there that had a Letterman's jacket, but they really want to gravitate towards that history. And they're creating, their view is so beautiful. Their vision board is really, really exciting, but they are asking for volunteers. So I'm sure there's a safe way to do that. So see if your history, your nostalgia can contribute to this cause. It sounds exciting. Love our neighbors, and this is something you can utilize or volunteer, but there's still people out there that are delivering meals. So love our neighbors, that's kind of that offshoot of Love Modesto that still is going strong. Look at their website. They do a lot of small beautifying and helping our neighbors, a lot of community hospice recipients and consumers need maybe a ramp built to their front door. And Love Our Neighbors do a lot of those helpful projects. So see if that's something that you can contribute to. It's now happening year round. It's not just that one day. So senior meals distribution, that is, I don't know if you want to speak on that, Kylie, but I know that there are a lot of distribution sites. So we aren't able to sit with our friends like we used to for those senior meals. I know Howard Training Center was really active with that, and our senior center.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that is the county, so the Healthy Aging Association doesn't partake in that. But I know that at the Veteran Center at our office, every Friday, I believe it's from 9 to 12 or maybe 10 to 12, in the back of the building, they do the drive-through distribution. But I know that you can always call the senior information line to get more information on the senior meals and where they distribute. And also they have Meals on Wheels now, which is for homebound seniors, and they will actually deliver those 5 frozen meals to their home. So that's really awesome as well.
Great, Kylie, thank you. Yeah, and I'm getting my information from the Modesto Bee. So if you guys want to look into that, I know there's distribution sites in Patterson and Grayson and in different areas all over Stanislaus County. Stanislaus Connections, that's a newsletter, very positive energy, a lot of information about social justice. But I recently received an email that they would appreciate people helping to do some mailing. So you're just kind of stuffing envelopes, but helping a cause. They've been around for like 50 years. They're a really great group of people that have done a lot of really neat progressive things for Modesto. They also have a radio station. So if that's something that your talents can contribute to, be sure and reach out to Stanislaus Connections. Community hospice, we obviously have our volunteer program. They're making calls, and as things evolve, they might go back to visiting our homes, but they are providing a lot of connection and consoling and comforting and companionship to our seniors and to those of to our neighbors and peers that are using community hospice services. So they reach out, they mail cards, they're just a little ray of sunshine. So if that's something that interests you, give us a call. And then just other local nonprofits. Think of, I don't have all the up-to-date information, but we have a lot of great agencies here that as social workers are always referring to. A Haven Women's Center and the Salvation Army. They they're still doing hard work, Modesto Gospel Mission. So see how they've accommodated to let their volunteers continue to help. Interfaith Ministries. A recent look at volunteermatch.org. I see that Catholic Charities has asked for volunteers. They do a lot of domestic assistance, housekeeping, light housekeeping, driving around, helping with medical appointments. And CASA, that's our court-appointed special advocates, helping children that are going through the court system in foster care. I actually was, I think 20 years ago, the first graduating class for Stanislaus County CASA, but I'm no longer able to volunteer. But if you have some free time, it was absolutely enlightening, the things that I learned and making a difference in the life of a child. And the Salvation Army Food Bank was also on volunteermatch.org. So see if that's something you can put your free time towards. It will really help your self-esteem, change your outlook on things. And hopefully if you aren't completely depressed, completely lonely, these might brighten your mood and affect and help you get out, see others, be seen, even if it's on a computer screen. However, I do understand things aren't that easy. So if things are a little more difficult, reach out to your primary care provider. You can also connect with the Warm Line. Stanislaus County Warm Line is 209-558-4600. And there's the Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800, I'm sorry, is it 273-8255? I don't know, did I misplace that somewhere? 1-800-273-8255. I guess I do have that memorized, but you are not alone. So please reach out. And thanks for joining us again.
Hi, ladies. Wonderful job. Thank you so much for all of these great resources. There are a lot of comments going on in the feed over here. So we're just going to kind of read through them, ask a couple of questions as well. Erica, I'm going to ask you to move your slide to the next one just so that we can show everyone the resources where we obtain this information as well. So you guys all have that. Kylie, thank you so much for putting in your phone number as well as the Healthy Aging website information. That's great. So one of the questions that I asked was, if you would like to share an experience or a tip that has helped you with loneliness, please enter it in the chat box. And a couple of comments, it was that we have a monthly family bingo game to check in with each other. And they also do a monthly wine tasting with their friends. So that was a fun perspective that was offered. And then somebody mentioned how important volunteering was. And I do want to just recall that our last presentation on January 27th was all about the many benefits of volunteering. And so that is recorded. It is available if you would like to learn more about volunteering, not only opportunities, but just the importance of volunteering and maybe those steps to get involved. That is available on the Community Hospice YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com, enter Community Hospice, look for the Community Connections video on benefiting the many benefits of volunteering. So that's available for you still to view. One person asked for some resources for San Joaquin County. So I do want to draw your attention to the chat box. I did enter some website information for local agencies such as the Aging Services Department, Stockton Education, San Joaquin Senior Association Organization, the StocktonGov.com, which has volunteer opportunities, as well as visitstockton.org, which offers a monthly calendar with information on how you can get involved in different things to do in San Joaquin County. And then let's see here, going through them. There was a question, and the question is, these were great suggestions that you offered, but someone wants to know, how can they help a friend who is lonely but refuses to accept help and is never wanting to go out?
That's really hard. And I think um, maybe putting them on the spot and asking for a lunch date or something where they kind of need to perform and bring up some, something to talk about might be difficult. And that's why I had suggested the personal enrichment. So maybe someone that's just not feeling well about themselves, the constant dialogue in their own head is how scary it is right now. And are they going to be healthy and well? So I think that's why I put in those distractions. So it's not just saying, why don't you come out? Because they know they're going to be asked, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? And really nothing, because we're not doing much, possibly. So if you take that pressure off, say, if you know their interest, should we watch this symphony? Should we watch an opera? Should we watch this gardening talk and chat about that and bring like their old self back into it? If you know the things that they were interested in before they had this gloomy cloud over them, try to take the pressure off having them perform or talk about themselves, and maybe try to find, I just saw a class and I want to tell you about it. So just take the pressure off of these individuals, because we're running out of things to talk about, and that's why everybody talks about the vaccine and the COVID and the politics. So let's try something new.
Yeah, that's great. We did just have another comment, and just said that what helped their mother was asking her to help a friend who was lonely, and it became her mission. She got involved and she was able to help not only herself but her friend. So that's a great suggestion.
Give them a purpose. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That productivity really heals a lot.
Wonderful. And then there was another comment that said they couldn't remember if you mentioned a sign of loneliness was weight loss. And do you want to touch a little bit on that, and the importance of making sure that we're maintaining a healthy diet, because we have to take care of ourselves?
Yeah, just when you're generally unwell and low self-esteem or little activity, sometimes we forget. Sometimes we get in our head and we're not eating as well. We're not as active. And so whether it's losing muscle tone, muscle loss, it might not necessarily be burning calories, but you just essentially waste away. So it's just general not eating nutritious things. You're trying to get that boost in energy, so you might just grab a cookie. You're just trying to get a quick mood booster, so we're not eating those nutritious meals. So I haven't seen a lot of it being a huge weight loss, like let's make sure that our health is okay. But it's just lack of nutrients, lack of muscle tone, just maybe neglecting our physical health a bit.
Wonderful, thank you. And there was another question about the Veterans Center. Kylie did kind of touch on the Veterans Center, as well as Erica, providing some resources, that there are things opening up a little bit to provide resources to our veterans, so that they are not isolated and are not lonely. Kylie, do you want to just give some information about the Veterans Center? And I don't know if you know times.
A little. I know that they are doing appointment only for the Veteran Center. And then again, they're doing the Meals on Wheels and senior meals behind the Veteran Center once a week. And then also the Healthy Aging Association, we do our green bag program once a month at the Veteran Center. That's just our distribution site. It's not only for veterans, it's for older adults with low income. I don't know too much of their plan on reopening, just because we are a different organization from them, but I know that they are accepting appointments. Just you have to pre-make your appointment.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So I apologize. I just researched that right now. So it sounds like VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, this is the Hatch site. So post 3199 is the Hatch Road. It's at 2801 West Hatch Road, Modesto. They've been out there for many years. They had a fire, they rebuilt. For a long time, they had breakfast, but it sounds like they're going back to This Friday, they're having a fish fry. So, so that's at 4 p.m. Friday, February 26th, 4 to 7. VFW Post 31.99. Friday night dinner with French fries and coleslaw for $12. And then I see repeats of meals like that at that Hatch Road site. So I'm sorry, it's not at the Coffee Road site. It's Post 31.99.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you did mention earlier, and I just want to reiterate, our Visit Modesto or Modesto Visitors Bureau, their calendar is usually kept pretty up to date with activities that are going on in the community, as well as Modesto View. And then you can reach out to any of our organizations, the Healthy Aging Association, online or by calling them. Their phone number, again, let's go ahead and give it, Kylie, is 209-525-4670, and it's healthyagingassociation.org. And they'll have further details on all of their programs and meal pickup and all that good stuff as well. So if there are no additional questions at this time, I don't see anything else. We'll wait just a moment. Okay, so we say we had a participant mention that volunteers are needed at post 3199 for Friday night
shout out.
So we have
also, just a side note, I've utilized, and I don't know if this still exists, but I had a family that were in need of a wheelchair, and they had a medical supply that they just allow people to access. I mean, I was able to access it as a social worker, but that they're really great, and they allowed a family to have a wheelchair that had theirs stolen and wasn't able to get Medi-Cal to fund a new one. So
awesome.
Great people.
It looks like they're looking for, it says that they're looking for assistance on Friday nights for their dinners, as well as the Sunday breakfast. And we have that employee that's out on medical leave. So they can use some extra hands if you have, the time and energy to volunteer out there. Yeah. And then also another suggestion was that Society for Disabilities has medical supplies as well.
Yes.
So if somebody is looking for some assistance, please reach out to the Society for Disabilities for assistance. Okay, so with that, I think we are going to end our presentation. Again, this presentation is recorded. It will be available probably by the end of the day today on our Community Hospice YouTube channel, and we'll also share it on our social media. So thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next month at the same time, the 4th Wednesday of the month. And Kylie will be joining us again, and we'll be talking about the many benefits of movement and having an active lifestyle. So we're excited to welcome you back, Kylie, and look forward to your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Take care.